Welcome to Doordarshan Kendra, Kohima. I am Kevino Naprautu with the news. First, the headlines. India celebrates 10 years of Digital India program. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on a 5-nation tour. Death toll in pharmaceutical unit explosion at Pashamairam risen to 35. President Draupadi Murmu inaugurates Guru Gorakhnath Ayush University in Gorakhpur. Now the news in detail. India is celebrating 10 years of the Digital India program. It was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2015. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that Digital India has become a people's movement and is central to building an Atmanirbhar Bharat and making India a trusted innovation partner to the world. In a blog marking 10 years of the Digital India program, he said India is moving from digital governance to global digital leadership and from India first to India for the world. Modi wrote that while decades were once spent doubting the ability of Indians to use technology, this mindset has changed. Similarly, he noted that instead of believing technology would deepen inequality, it is now being used to bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots. He emphasized that when the intent is right, innovation empowers the less empowered, and inclusive approaches have brought meaningful changes to the lives of those on the margins. This belief, he said, laid the foundation of Digital India, a mission to democratize access, build inclusive digital infrastructure, and create opportunities for all. The Prime Minister said India is now the most affordable compute destination with the $1.2 billion India AI mission. He added that India is championing humanity-first AI, and the New Delhi Declaration on AI promotes innovation with responsibility. Modi concluded that the next decade will be even more transformative. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to embark on a 5-nation tour from today covering Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, Argentina, Brazil and Namibia, marking an important push to strengthen India's ties with Africa, Latin America and the Caribbean. First Indian PM visit to Ghana in 3 decades. Modi will begin his tour with an official visit to Ghana on July 2 and 3, the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to the West African nation in 30 years. The Ministry of External Affairs MEA said the visit holds special significance as Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama recently assumed office after a decisive electoral victory. Modi and President Mahama, who share a history of engagement since the India-Africa Forum Summit in 2015, will discuss ways to deepen bilateral ties. PM Modi will then travel to Brazil to attend the 17th BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro on July 6 and 7. The theme for this year's summit, Strengthening Global South Cooperation for Inclusive and Sustainable Governance, aligns with India's foreign policy priorities. Leaders will deliberate on reforming global governance, peace and security, climate change, and artificial intelligence. India expects key outcomes including a leaders' declaration and frameworks for climate finance and socially determined diseases. On July 8, PM Modi will pay a state visit to Brasilia for bilateral talks with President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Taking a swab at Prime Minister Narendra Modi ahead of his visit abroad, the Congress today said the frequent flyer PM is off on a 5-nation jaunt and alleged that he is running away from 4 issues, including the Manipur situation and US President Donald Trump's claims about bringing about a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Congress General Secretary in charge communications, Jairam Ramesh, also alleged that the Prime Minister is running away from the revelations by defense officials that India suffered reverses in the first 2 days of Operation Sindoor because of the PM's decisions. Prime Minister Modi will embark on a 5-nation tour beginning July 2 to participate in the BRICS Summit in Brazil and expand India's ties with several key nations of the Global South. The death toll in the pharmaceutical unit explosion at Pashamairam in Telangana's Sangareddy district has risen to 35. Police have so far been able to identify only 11 bodies. Authorities supervising the rescue operation said that around 16 workers are still feared trapped under the debris. Rescue efforts are continuing round the clock with the help of NDRF and SDRF personnel. Of the 35 workers admitted to the hospital with burn injuries, the condition of 12 is reported to be critical. Most of the victims are reported to be migrant workers from Odisha, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Revanath Reddy visited the accident site today. He held discussions with officials regarding the circumstances that led to the explosion and reviewed the rescue operations. He also visited the hospital where workers are undergoing treatment. The Chief Minister has ordered a thorough inquiry into the tragic incident. The Chief Minister has announced 1 crore rupees each to the families of the deceased and 10 lakh rupees for those injured. Let us take a short break here.
वीडियो लाइक करने के पैसे मिलेंगे? So easy.
अनजान लिंक्स पर क्लिक मत कीजिए। आरबीआई कहता है
जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
वीडियो लाइक करने के पैसे मिलेंगे? So easy.
अनजान लिंक्स पर क्लिक मत कीजिए। आरबीआई कहता है
जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
Welcome back. President Draupadi Murmu today inaugurated the Guru Gorakhnath Ayush University in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. Describing the university as a modern center of India's ancient traditions and values, the President said the institution would prove to be a milestone in the field of health services not only for Uttar Pradesh but for the entire country. President Murmu said the tradition of preserving yoga and health in India is ancient. She stressed the need to take this tradition forward to make the country developed by 2047. Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath were also present on the occasion. In his address, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath described the occasion as the beginning of a new era in health and culture in the state. Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw today launched Rail One app, which is a one-stop solution for all passenger services. The app offers ease of access for services like ticketing, enquiries of trains, PNR, journey planning, rail madad services and food on train. Addressing a function, Vaishnaw said the entire focus of the railway officers should be on passenger safety. The Rail One app can be downloaded from both Android Play Store and iOS App Store. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar has hailed the relationship between India and the US, particularly over the course of 25 years, noting that the two countries have enjoyed strong and very positive ties under the last 5 US presidents. Dr. Jaishankar noted that the trend line of India-US ties over the past 25 years has been very strong. The External Affairs Minister said both the countries are in the middle of a very intricate trade negotiation and expressed hope that India and the US will reach a successful conclusion to the trade negotiations. Dr. S. Jaishankar is currently in the US to participate in the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting to be held in Washington, D.C. tonight. The Quad, comprising India, the US, Australia and Japan, is a key grouping largely focusing on peace, security and stability in the Indo-Pacific region.
Responsibility of the global community to combat terrorism in all its forms and manifestations.
Terrorism is one of the gravest threats to humanity. It is the antithesis of everything that the UN stands for: human rights, rules and norms, and how nations should conduct their dealings with each other. When terrorism is supported by a state against a neighbor, when it is fueled by the bigotry of extremism, when it drives a whole host of illegal activities, it is imperative to call it out publicly. And one way of doing so is to display the havoc that it has wreaked on global society. The world must come together on some basic concepts: no impunity to terrorists, no treating them as proxies, and no yielding to nuclear blackmail. Any state sponsorship must be exposed and must be countered. By now, we know well that terrorism anywhere is a threat to peace everywhere.
The Indian Navy successfully rescued 14 Indian crew members from a Palau-flagged oil tanker Mount Yucheng 6 after a major fire broke out in its engine room. According to the Ministry of Defense, when the distress call was received, the tanker was near Fujairah, UAE in the North Arabian Sea. Responding to a distress call received early Sunday morning, Indian naval ship INS Tabar, which was on a mission-based deployment, rushed to the site located approximately 80 nautical miles east of Fujairah. Upon arrival, the crew of INS Tabar immediately established contact with the vessel's master and began firefighting operations. 7 crew members were promptly evacuated to safety, while the remaining crew stayed on board to assist in containing the blaze. No injuries were reported. A 6-member Indian Navy firefighting and damage control team, equipped with specialized gear, was deployed to combat the fire. Their efforts were later bolstered by 13 more Navy personnel. Together with the ship's crew, they managed to bring the fire under control and confine it to the engine room. The Goods and Services Tax (GST), which has replaced a maze of indirect taxes with a single unified system, has completed 8 years today. The GST was introduced in 2017 as a major step towards economic integration and tax reforms. It has made tax compliance easier, reduced costs for businesses, and allowed goods to move freely across states. These measures not only improved the ease of doing business, but also strengthened the tax base. GST rates in the country are determined by the GST Council, which includes representatives from the union and state or union territory governments. The current GST structure consists of 4 main rate slabs: 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. The India Meteorological Department (IMD) on Tuesday said that active monsoon conditions are likely to continue across many parts of northwest, central, and east India over the next 6 to 7 days. The forecast indicates widespread rainfall activity with extremely heavy rainfall, measuring 20 centimeters or more, very likely at isolated locations in Madhya Pradesh, West Uttar Pradesh, and East Rajasthan today and tomorrow. According to the IMD, very heavy rainfall is also expected in Himachal Pradesh today and tomorrow, and again from July 5 to 7. Uttarakhand is likely to receive heavy showers tomorrow, while Punjab and Haryana are forecast to receive significant rainfall on July 6 and 7. Uttar Pradesh may experience very heavy rainfall today and tomorrow, and East Rajasthan is likely to be affected from July 1 to 4. Madhya Pradesh will see another spell of heavy rain tomorrow and again from July 5 to 7. Further east, Jharkhand is expected to receive heavy rain today, while Odisha will see rainfall activity between July 1 and 3. Along the western coast, the Konkan and Goa regions, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and the Gujarat region are also in line for sustained heavy rainfall. In the northeast, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and Meghalaya, as well as Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura, are likely to witness widespread heavy showers from July 1 to 7. And now let us look at the weather reports of the district headquarters of Nagaland.
Kohima today recorded a maximum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius, while Dimapur had a maximum temperature of 31 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 14 degrees Celsius. Wokha experienced a maximum temperature of 28 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 13 degrees Celsius. Mokokchung had a maximum temperature of 29 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 9 degrees Celsius. Mon had a maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. Towards the east, Tuinsang had a maximum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. Zinebuto had a maximum temperature of 26 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 7 degrees Celsius. Phek had a maximum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 6 degrees Celsius. That's all for the weather report.
And with this, we have come to the end of this evening's bulletin. Have a good night.